Anita the beekeeper. Anita's dream. Once upon a time, there were two trees. They were Anita's trees. If you say this to Anita, she will tell you that nothing can ever really be owned, except for your dreams. She says you must begin to dream to be able to make your dreams come true. This story begins in a small village called Bochahar, in the state of Bihar, India, on the day Anita decided to go to school. That day, little Anita woke up at sunrise, just as she always did, to take her black and white spotted goats for a walk in the forest. She passed a school on the way to the forest. On this day, however, she stood on tiptoes and peeped over the school wall. She saw children standing in rows, singing as loudly as they could at their morning assembly in the courtyard. Anita watched them quietly from behind the red stone wall. Taking a last look at her goats and another at the children, she made her decision. Within seconds, Anita had joined the children at assembly, forgetting about the mischief her goats would make in other people's fields. She spent the day at school without any of the teachers noticing that there was an extra student in the class. Anita was so happy she could barely stop smiling. When Anita's parents found out about her school day, they were very angry. "Who will look after the goats?" her father asked. "Who will help me with the housework?" her mother cried. "Girls are not supposed to go to school," the women in the village whispered. Although Anita was only 7 years old, she knew she wanted to go to school. "Just let me try," she said stubbornly, twisting her hands together. Anita's father frowned and shook his head, but while his face said no, his voice said, "Only until grade 5. After that, you will have to work again." Anita smiled at her father with a large, knowing grin, because she did not want to just complete grade 5. She wanted to go to college. She promised herself that she would find a way. Anita did well at school, and soon she started teaching other children what she had learned, and earning money for it too. This way, her father never had to worry about paying her school fees. She did not have to drop out of school to work. She was able to do both at the same time. However, not everyone in the village was happy about Anita teaching the village children. The other teachers, who were all men, blamed Anita for taking away their jobs. The village children preferred to learn from Anita because she explained ideas simply and understood what they found difficult. Soon, even the other teachers grumpily agreed that Anita understood the children better than they did, perhaps because she was only 15 years old. Teaching other children helped Anita finish school, but she wanted to further her studies and go to college. She knew she had to find a way to work and stay in college at the same time. She did not have to look very far, and just like always, she found a way. Her village had many green, leafy lychee trees that bloomed with tiny flowers and had sweet fruit in the summertime. For many years, only men had collected honey in Anita's village, and for some reason, women had never even tried. The trees and the ever-buzzing bees gave her an idea that was as sweet as honey. Anita becomes a beekeeper. One day, Anita followed a group of men who were attending a government course on how to look after bees. She was the only girl who attended the class. Within 3 days, she had learned what she needed to know to begin beekeeping. She decided that it was time to break open the piggy bank in which she had saved the money she'd earned from teaching the children. Anita smashed her piggy bank on the hard stone floor and counted her money. She had enough to buy 2 queen bees and 2 boxes that her bees needed to make their hives in. Anita was ready for business. Back in the village, no one thought Anita's beekeeping was a good idea. After all, bees needed to be properly looked after. It was serious business, and definitely not a job for a young girl. "Anita, you should stay home and get married like all the other girls do. Why do you always have to be different?" the village women grumbled, for that was what they had done. "Anita, you'll be stung and then you will cry," they called out after her, as she balanced her new beekeeper's hat on her head, pretending that the stings did not hurt her at all. Anita refused to listen. She had a spirit in her that the other beekeepers in her village did not. She knew that her bees were going to help her go to college, so she made sure she knew them well. She knew when they were cold, and she knew when they were feeling hot. She knew when they would sting, and she knew when they were being lazy. Anita took care of her bees well. She sprinkled them with water and covered them with blankets. She loved them, and in return, they produced honey, lots and lots of honey. Anita collected the honey and bottled it. She designed her own label and called her honey Anita's honey. Carefully placing her honey bottles in boxes, Anita sent it by truck to be sold at the market. Her honey was popular, and soon she was able to buy herself a bicycle to ride to college. She cycled through the fields to and from college every day, but before her classes in the morning and after her classes in the afternoon, she looked after her bees. Anita's business flourished, and she had enough money to see her through college. "Beekeeping is the best job," Anita says, "because it let me stay in college." Anita studied English literature and grew into a confident young woman. As time passed, Anita's business grew, and soon she had 100 boxes. She needed to send her bees out to visit different flowers and add their sweet scent to the delicious honey. So, Anita sent her bees in a truck to nearby villages where lavender flowers bloomed and mustard flowers glowed bright yellow. Her bees came home to taste the sweet lychee flowers in spring. Soon, Anita's father realized how well she was doing and joined her small company. The people in the village agreed that Anita had been right, and they quietly helped her when they could. Anita had proved that girls could achieve anything if they went to school and had a dream to succeed. Anita's life today. Anita is now a member of the school committee, and she plays an important role in helping the village elders make school a better place for children. At night, she teaches her mother and other elders how to read. Anita won both the respect of the community and her parents, and the love of all the children. She has shown how by going to school, girls can follow their dreams. They can also become beekeepers. "With an education," says Anita, "girls are free to fly like honeybees and make their lives as sweet as honey."